when they pushed up. I mean, all you have to do is hit tab, and they saw that there's no Hand of the Gods. That's a guaranteed invade 100% of the time.
It's the entire reason we don't see many mages there. So it's a little bit rough, a little bit uphill for that situation. But again, I don't want to wait, Scott, do you?
Nope.
Let's just do it. P's and P's, game 3, right now.
Let's do the things. All right, so as expected, Return actually did take the order side exactly what they should have done. They said, okay, we saw success. As soon as we played on the order side, we're bringing it back here.
Yep. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Assuming it's right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the last time we said...
just blame Adonis.
Yeah. Is it even him anymore? I have no idea what goes on back there. Serket's going to get banned out as well as Sylvanas. Bye-bye, Medusa. You know, I've yet to cast a game of Medusa. I've been looking forward to it so much.
Her dash is called Lacerate.
I know. I hate that. I'm just going to say the dash.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Have you ever commentated an Artemis?
Yeah. I say Tusky.
Vengeful Assault?
Oh, no. Her volley.
Tusky's the best, though. All right, we've come to the situation.
Caledonian
Boar! Like, it sounds like a Star Trek ship.
Yeah. Right?
Athena going to be picked up first. I'm not surprised. None of this is surprising. Everything on my screen is pretty standard here for our summer qualifiers.
So now, option over to Legion, Hun Bats.
Duh.
Yep. You got to pick it up. I almost wonder if Return should have just let Medusa go through and banned out the Hun Bats. I mean, DJ Pernick has played so well with the Hun Bats that last game, and he had so much control in all of these team fights where I think if I was Return, I would go, all right, we'll let Medusa go through. I'm not that worried about it. Petrify, you pretty much have to try to get hit by that.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, for the stun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's sort of balanced the other way around, but getting hit by that is not something that you exactly want to do. Uller picked up for Nevern this time around. Do you remember the first game?
Yeah. He played fantastic. Uller locked in, and now Isis will be waiting to see that Sobek will be joining her potentially in the solo lane, maybe in the duo lane. My money is on the fact that it will go into the solo lane, but picking it up in this first instance is very good because now they can say, okay, will Return go against this as a counter for the solo lane, or are they expecting in the Guardian role? Which it's a really, really good mental game.
Yeah, it's very, very ambiguous, which is, I mean, that's the name of the game. It's so interesting how thick a pick and ban phase can be when you're playing different characters. Hun Bats and Sobek are both characters that can go in multiple roles. So that's going to keep the enemy on their toes. Geb banned out by the blue team, which is going to be Return, and Poseidon banned out by Legion, so Clow is going to have to find another god to play.
Yep. Big Baby Cupid here. Last game, he played fantastic. Fields of Love were everywhere. He had so many one-on-one fights, which was really the big difference. I mean, when you're looking at mirror item builds, right? When you have a Heartseeker on a Heartseeker and you come out on top, that gives you the advantage for the next minute and a half, 2 minutes, especially in the lane. So Cupid did a fantastic job. Agni as well as Tyr, taking the Agni into Isis matchup there. I like the call. Tyr, he's so shockingly strong every time I watch. Like earlier today in the European matches when I watched Inky play, I was like, wow, look at the health just drop.
Yeah, I mean, Tyr, he does a lot of chunking, definitely a big part of it. The control is really what you're going to want to look for out of Tyr, but it's always conditional, because control coming out from Tyr is easily stopped by a Magi's Blessing. So, Agni, Uller, Athena, all can get rid of that problem.
Look, you were right about that Odin, huh?
Yeah.
Where's this Odin going? Is this a support Odin? I hope it's not a solo Odin. Everyone should have learned their lesson from Divios early on versus Denial.
When it comes to Team Legion, it's either a support or jungle, and looking at the Hun Bats pick and how well DJ Pernicus has really rode the monkey this time around, it's going to be the Odin support. So Odin Cupid lane is scary. Odin Cupid lane is not something you want to really mess with. You're locked in my circle.
They do have the Uller, though, who can jump out of this. I mean, he just presses 4 and then jumps out.
Not if he's Cupid ulted.
Fair, yeah.
It's a cripple.
It is a cripple.
Stack your circles. Yeah. Stack your circles. Once upon a time, before me even, Odin Zeus was a scary thing. You get stuck in the circle, and inside the circle. Cupid Odin also going to be the thing. We take a look at it, and it is confirmed. Wellplaid will be playing the Crocodile, the God of the Nile, in the solo lane. No denial there. And the Odin will be in the support role. Yep. I'm really proud of that, by the way.
I figured you were. I was going to wait for you to stop and then kind of go through. So looking at this, yes, you have the Odin cage. You have a Duro on Isis who's been playing great and then you have DJ Pernicus on Hunbats. But across the way, you have an Agni mixed. Oh, look at this, actually. Spirit Ball is going to hit as well. They're in a lot of trouble. Odin Jump's going to hit. Pain Devion's going to get first blood.
That's it. That's why you pick Odin.
I thought you were calling the game. I was like, dude, I mean, it's 17 seconds.
You know what?
Pre-game.
You know what? That's it.
Yeah?
That's it.
You're calling that.
Odin,
just from that.
Odin is a kid. No, of course not.
I wouldn't doubt you, man.
I'm not that high. I mean, it's not something I would ever commit to. Oh, my God.
We didn't even look at this. He started off with Bluestone Pendant, and now he went straight into Boots because of that first blood. So he wasn't worried about the Watcher's Gift or the Mark of the Vanguard?
Odin is incredibly mana hungry. Odin, you use his 2 abilities and he's out of mana. That is a huge problem for Odin. That's why Odin mid doesn't really work. That's why Odin jungle is a little haphazard. You need the Bummus Mask, which is not a bad thing, of course, but Odin in the support role is going to start with his Bluestone Pendant. It's pretty much expected. And it's basically just, we're going to jump on your face, dude, and see how much you can deal with it. He gets the first blood. That's going to be incredible for Odin because he's sort of, he's a bell curve. He gets really big during the mid game and then never really does anything ever again. So if he can rush his way to the mid game and just be ahead of everybody, it changes everything. Think Thanatos.
Yep. Well, the poke out here as Agni will be going up against Isis as we take a look at the duo lane here. The charge is going to be ready here for Athena, just trying to make them back up. Now, when I talked to Jeff Inlet at the Spring Fling, I said, Jeff, let me ask you this question. Support gets the first kill early on. Is it good or is it bad? And he goes, it's one of the best things possible because the game kind of snowballs out of control due to the fact that it's so hard for supports to come by gold.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad thing to get your support a kill or 2 or 3.
Oof.
You have a 5-kill support. It's a little different.
Oh, look at Panda Cat. That might be good. That might. Oh my God! Look at that health. 45.
Panda Cat knows how to play this Cupid. It's actually interesting. Very few hunters will choose the Cupid outside of this meta.
Well, Cloud's going to get stunned out using the dash, and now look at this. Hunbats directly on him again, waiting for the follow-up. Will they be able to get it? He does. And now we will watch as Bestet will jump in, try to poke, realize nothing's there, and then catch a Spirit Ball to the face. Will they dive this, though?
No,
the answer is no.
A little bit too early to go for it. They've got the 2 kills.
I believed.
I mean, honestly, it's Legion. DJ Pernicus is always ready to go. It's not as negative as it sounds. I think it's actually an awesome quality when you're playing a MOBA.
Which, this is my question I have to ask. Legion winning this second game, is that enough momentum to propel them through this series?
It's a lot. It is definitely a lot. Because of who's on the return, because you have you have a bunch of other people. Nevin and Wubbin have really shown what they want to do. If Cloud can keep his head in the game, honestly, I'm not going to give anything up. This is as tight of a series as we had in Europe. With that said, momentum will go the side of Legion incredibly. DJ Pernicus and Pain Devion tend to ride the waves very well, as does Aduro.
And now we're going to watch as that is Nevin still getting bullied out of this lane. And now this is going to be the Sobek just watching Tyr. There's really no kill potential here at all unless Tyr kind of gets someone juggled into the tower. But
yeah, exactly.
Sobek can just charge prey out of there. So he can really only kill the jungler out of it, right?
This is one of those lanes where I clear the minions, you clear the minions, and then we both ult tabs.
Yep.
That's kind of how that works over here in the solo lane. Guardian versus a thick warrior like Tyr. So especially when they both have heals, it's rough. What would be interesting is if Wellplaid went in there, strike to really shut down the heals from Tyr.
Now, what kind of build are we going to see out of this Ode? Is it a traditional support build? Is it?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see a lot of traditional support stuff. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Jotuns come out just to get some extra pizzazz going on, because Odin is definitely a offensive support. Think along the lines of a Hercules or an Ares. You still build support, but occasionally you'll build like you'll see a Ward Stone on Ares, or you'll see a Jotuns on a support Herc. Same idea. You're going to build support. That's what we're going to see at Odin, but you might see one flavor item.
Well, still looking at here, Heartseeker is going to be done for the Cupid across the way. Uller, he's a little bit away from that. He's only down really 150 gold, so all things told, he's done well, even though he's been zoned out completely. As we switch into the mid lane here, Agni, he's got the tiny trinket. He's starting into boots, most likely going into power boots. Very rare that we see CDR boots on Agni.
Yeah, the end game DPS is almost negligible.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Agni, you really want that burst damage. You're going to get so many ults anyway.
Look at this play from Legion. Legion taking their exact strategy in game 1 and bringing it, or game 2 and bringing it into game 3. Control the speed buff, control the blue. Look at this. Pain just going to jump out of this one. Tyr is going to bring the law as well. Fear no evil is going to be good, though. They're locked in a cage. And now Bastet will jump out, but that leaves the Tyr. Tyr should go down in just a second, and now finally he will to the Sobek, but the battle still continues here. Waiting, no, look at that 3-man taunt. They're still going to have to follow up. Agni does well. Bastet, that's going to be a double kill for her, and now Isis will push forward. If they get this, this is going to be big, but I don't know if they have the damage to do it.
It's a 2 for 2 going the way of, well, both teams. Legion still lead because they have they got first blood and an additional kill. So it's 4-2. Great stun coming out from Nevin.
No way!
That's a fight that we didn't get to see, but we saw the end of it. And Panda Cat claims another life.
Dude, he's doing everything he needs to.
He really is.
Normally, from the spring finals, all I kind of got out of Hunters was kind of, okay, wait for 30 minutes, and then, you know, they become super relevant, right? But when they're boxing as much as they are in North America, I mean, this is very, very big. I mean, you get these more and more gold on the Hunters, and then their build just gets accelerated completely. That's very, very scary.
I mean, it's also very interesting. I mentioned that he likes to pick the Cupid. Cupid is his 4th most played hunter. You obviously have your Anhur and your Apollo back when Apollo was the only guy to go to. But normally we'll see like a Rom or or even a Shibalanki above that, right? Neath? No. Cupid is number 4 for him. So he's put a lot of hours into this character, assumably even before Season 2 came around.
Well, Taunt's going to hit as well. Odin's going to bring out the shield. He's going to jump away here. He's going to jump right into the enemy, though. The shield will, or the Ring of Spears will come down as well. Ice is going to come in, hit a Spirit Ball as well. Lawbringer's going to get him out of there.
Ouch.
They're still going to pursue, though. Athena Ultimate Force on them. Defensively, Agni Bombs are going to be right off the target. Taunt's going to hit as well. Still going forward, though, is going to be the Hunbats. Will the Spirit Ball connect? It doesn't, but they have turned this fight. Hunbats is still doing amazing throughout this, and now Fields of Love should be able to clean that one up. What a rotation out of Cupid.
That is exactly why I brought up what I brought up, Scott. Knowing how big that Fields of Love is going to be, knowing how much it's going to slow, and knowing that you're going to be able to pick off that Agni with the amount of damage and that just the hair spot where you can hit him. He knows the character well.
This is a huge momentum swing here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is the first Gold Fury again taken for Legion. And according to everything that I've seen, if you take the first Gold Fury, you should win the game.
Usually a little more complicated than that. But
I know, right? But
I mean, I can't.
When you just read Twitter, that's how it goes. Heartbomb's going to be good, and they're going to clean him up, and now they're just going to zone out the Athena. Wow, Legion, pedal to the floor here. I
mean, see, this is the opposite. Normally one of the platitudes that we, well, frankly, overuse here is, this team's on tilt. This guy's on tilt. This individual's on tilt. Legion is the other way. They are on tilt in a positive light. They have the momentum.
Can you tilt positively?
I mean,
wouldn't you just say turn up? They have turned up.
Well, yeah, you always say turn up, no matter what. That's what you have.
They haven't tilted. They
have not turned down.
No, that's for sure. That's what tilt means.
They have turned all the way up, all the way turned up for sure.
Was that Soulja Boy?
I am almost. I'm very surprised you knew that was Soulja Boy. He doesn't drive a truck.
What? I know, right? Oh man. So taking a look at this, I mean, they're down 3,000 gold roughly, and the experience is definitely in the favor of Legion. Dot, how does Return kind of spin this around in their favor?
Realistically, they're not that far behind. 3,000 gold is not the end of the world. It's morale that they have to keep a track of more than anything. Nevin got caught out. That was very unfortunate. They need to stop that. 3,000 gold, as I said, 3,000 to 4,000 gold. They're not out of this by any means. It's a matter of somebody needs to sit there and just be like, chill. Yep. Calm down. We're not that far out of it. It might seem like it because we got beat up, but we're still here. All we have to do, get a tower, Gold Fury. Oh my God, we're in it.
What a beautiful play there out of the Odin as he's just going to ring him up, and that's going to do it. Great job out of him.
Ring him, ding him, and Panda Cat gets another solo kill against Nevin in the long lane. Panda Cat has just been absolutely destroying it, and it's really just on his ability to do it all by himself.
Taunt's going to hit as well there. That's going to be Tyr. Tyr forced all the way out. Hunbats gets another kill. DJ Pernicus doing everything he can. Will this be a double kill for him? The tier still going to just sit in his jungle as now he will go directly back to his tower.
What a luxury. What a Legion hasn't had to rotate to the long lane at all.
Yeah.
At all, because they know that Panda Cat's going to handle this. What does that allow them to do, Scott? All of a sudden, Aduro's always in the solo jungle. All of a sudden, always behind the mid tower. They don't have to worry about it because it's just, Panda Cat, do you. Kill your guy. Do you. We'll see you at the finish line.
He has a 3-level advantage on this Ullr. Ullr really can't fight him at all.
Not at all. It's a little rough for Ullr, especially after those fights, but I mean, even before the number differential, he was just getting slayed by this Panda Cat guy.
Yeah, Panda Cat doing everything he can. Kills are 3-12. Yep. It is looking very, very good so far for Legion.
Not a very good game for return. Odin has had a lot to do with it. Tons of bursts. And one more time, the burst is real from the monkey. Gonna follow the jump over the wall onto the Bastet. Couple of hits, looking for a crit. Overhand smash. There's the ring.
Look at that
You're
ring.
not going anywhere. The jump is still down, folks. And the surrender vote has started.
What? Get out of here. No way. They're not surrendering. They can't surrender. This is a best of 5 to make it into the SPL. That's not happening. I refuse to believe it. Isis is going to clean up the Ullr here as well. That just happened.
It happens.
That's tilt. That's not turning up. That's not good.
No, turn down
that puts you in a very, very awkward spot because now you're down. Okay, you're down 2-1. We gotta force it into game 4. Mm-hmm. I think it's a little bit different than looking at game number 1, or is it?
I think it's very different because as you said, this will be game number 4, right? Which means that you have to win, or Team Return has to win. We're sort of embodying them. Yeah. You have to win 2 games in a row. Okay, you lose game 1 really bad, and you just, okay, no big deal. There's a potential 4 more games in this set. Yep. It's a lot different than saying, well, do or die, we have to win this time around. So I think it's a very different mentality going in from the last surrender we saw to this surrender, and I have to be thinking about the mental state of these players.
Man, that's tough.
Yep.
It's going to be really, really tough. But as we get ready to fire up the first blood here and see how kind of this game unfolded, it's really, Legion has been destroying since game number 2.
Yeah.
They've controlled the jungle in this early. I mean, you called it. I mean, I called you out on calling it, and then you backed out of it. But as soon as that happened, Dot goes,